Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be. We're back here at Gambit for another Let's Try, doing something a little bit interesting today. We're taking a look at Merger3D. It just came out yesterday, I do believe, and this is a very, very weird one. This recording might not be in the highest quality because none of my recording software will pick this game up, and I'm talking about Plays TV, and I'm talking about OBS. It doesn't see this game as existing, so right now I'm using the monitor capture feature from OBS. And that's because, if you can tell, very pixel kind of game. This is a first-person shooter, a very retro first-person shooter done in the vein of Wolf3D. Now that's great. I love Wolf3D, one of my favorite games. You know, then went on to do Doom, granddaddy of first-person shooters. The problem with Merger3D that you'll see here in a second when we get into it is that instead of being retro-inspired by Wolf3D, it's essentially built on the same platform. Now, I don't know what engine this uses, but if you look at the Steam discussion boards, it's essentially running on Windows 95. And it is essentially programmed exactly the same way, it looks like, as it would have been in 1991. So that's really weird, and it causes a lot of issues. And this is that fine line of nostalgia that's really weird to me. Retro-inspired is cool. You have something like Shovel Knight. Gorgeous game. An indie darling, fantastic, everybody loves that game. But that game is made to look like an old Nintendo game, an 8-bit game. But clearly that game would never be able to run as is on a Nintendo system. And that's why I think Shovel Knight works so well, and so many other games in that style, or that retro-inspired nature, is because they took the ideas of what we loved as kids and made it better. They took away all that extra crap that didn't work. Merger3D started along that same route, but everything that plagued Wolfenstein 3D is still in this game. And while I do love Wolfenstein 3D, I can't really go back and play Wolfenstein 3D. But enough talking, enough me rambling. Let's start a new game. This is the whole story, but I'm going to ignore it because every time I let that screen sit, it crashes the desktop, because it doesn't know what's going on. I don't know if they fixed that, but I don't want to risk it. So this is the game. Controls, very limiting. WASD works. W is forward, A is back. S and D are your strafe. Fine. If we're playing Wolf3D, then up on the keyboard and down on the keyboard would do nothing, because there's no up and down. You don't need to look up, you don't need to look down, similar to the original Doom as well. Left, right, would turn you left and right. So moving is smooth, it's fine, it's great. Problem is, you can hear that, I'm hitting the space bar. Control, Alt, Z, X, C. There is no fire command on the keyboard. So while I can move, great, in fact, it's super smooth. It picks up just like Wolf3D. I love it. I can't fire. And here's the biggest problem with this game. Mouse support is here. So I can look right and left, and I can use the right mouse button to fire at these football players that are apparently my friend. That would be fine, except it's so choppy. Left to right. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the recording, but it's so choppy. And if I go back to the keyboard, left and right, super smooth, like perfect. Okay, this wouldn't be a problem. You'd say, let's just remap the keys. Can't. No option to remap any of the controls. So that's a huge, huge, huge letdown, because it's going to lead to a lot of deaths, and I'll be lucky to beat the first level. So here we go. The bad guys are these monsters. And the hitboxes, it's basically just shoot in the area of the baddie and they will die. I know there's some back here because those guys would kill me. So, if you do know where the bad guys are, you can pretty much deal with them. And in an open area, it's passable. But, and it's really hard to explain without you playing it. Turning right to left is so bad. And this intro level is a terrible way to kick off the game because it's so bland and generic. There's a reason these were corridor shooters. Come on. So I played a little bit. I did beat the first level once. We'll see if we can get there again. So there's only one set of ammo. It all looks like shotgun shells. And it will power every weapon. So, I mean, I've seen that before in older games, which is fine. Cool thing, each weapon retains... I heard something. Each weapon retains its own ammo. So if I run out of ammo in my shotgun, I won't run out of it in my pistol. So turning is a bitch. If I'm using the control, the keyboard, boom, super fast, super tight, great. Mouse, doesn't matter what DPI setting I have it on, it's really bad. It's also when an enemy is near you or on you, it's incredibly hard to turn around at a reasonable time. That turning around, look how long it takes me to turn around because of the mouse. See you guys back there. No reloading, of course, it's all just automatic. And I mean, that's one of the biggest concerns. It's just the movement. The music is actually excellent. I would listen to this outside of the game. It reminds me a lot of sort of Duke 3D style music almost, in a way. These bug-eyed monsters are incredibly generic. Kill them all. No map. I don't remember if Wolf3D had a map. I think it had a map screen, but no map. And the level layouts are just... See? Look at this. I can't do any enemies out of nowhere, and I just and they strafe jump. Look at that. I've lost more than half of my life in one single encounter because I can't move and attack. I don't know how hard it would be in a patch to just let the bloody spacebar be a fire button, guys. Come on. This is ridiculous. And it's sad because I like this game. It's got a lot going for it. This level is really bland. The weapons, I've only seen 2 so far, look nice. The human baddies look like human baddies straight out of Wolf3D. These things are just amorphous blobs that are dumb. That strafe side decides it's very hard to keep tabs on them. And it's not as... You're behind there. Wolf3D was a very forward-friendly game. Like you get guns, you run, you shoot, and you just push, and you kick a lot of ass. And I'm out of ammo, so I have to resort to getting super close. And that's great for Wolf3D, but this one... Come on. No, you didn't drop any bullets. This game essentially is turn, is very slow. Because of the controls and you get stuck so easy. Gotcha. I'm out of bullets again. Can't turn around. I'm not gonna make this, am I? Come on. Yeah, you're almost guaranteed to take a couple hits. At least one. with your armband. And never before in a first-person shooter, really of any decade, has the first level been so difficult. Kinda know. God, I kinda know where. But that's because it was trial and error. 20, there we go. Everything looks the same. And I really, really do. I wanna state that again, that I love the idea of a game like this. Just not done on essentially the same technology from the early 90s. You know? The idea of these... Something's killing me and I can't turn around. Something was shooting at me. I just lost all my stuff. I don't even know where you guys came from. Shit. So the idea is great. And I don't know why you couldn't have done this on any of even the free development suites out there. I just, you know, even something like Game Maker, I mean, anything could essentially do this sort of... There are free development tools that can do more powerful stuff than this game. I don't... Oh, is that... I think this is the end. Oh, am I gonna make it? I have 79 health and there's a couple more baddies. Come on, draw them out. See, they zigzag. The music does help a lot to keep me interested. You can tell the textures and the block, everything is very Wolf3D. There you go. Objective to decay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 levels. And there it crashed. Look at that. Merger3D has stopped working. So this is what happens if I wait too long during this objective loading screens before moving on. So if I had hit escape sooner instead of counting, we would have been on to the next level. So essentially, if you buy this game, it's going to be unplayable because the first loading screen into this game is going to crash every single time if you don't know to hit escape. And I found that out by accident. There's nothing in the forums about it because only 3 or 4 people have had this game. Positives. It is $2. I mean, for that price, if the developer, I think it's just one guy, can fix some minor things, and I'm talking super minor, this bullshit right here, unexcusable. Okay, so this needs to be taken care of in the first patch. Let me fucking shoot with the space bar. And I think from there we might have something, but as is, I can't even recommend it at $2. This is really bad. So that was Merger3D, guys. If you want to check it out, it's on Steam right now. It's in the review pipe. I don't know if it's going to go up today when you hear this video or this weekend because it's there's another game before it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get to this or not. But that's what this bullshit is. The idea I love. I would love a Wolf3D style game, brand new in that vein of that game of whatever, Blake 7 or whatever the other, Corridor 7, whatever these things were. This just isn't it right now. Hopefully soon. But that is what it is. So until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Bye-bye.